I don't think I can truly express how crazy this is. This is fucking Kansas. This was the home of the anti-reproductive freedom movement. People fucking died in Kansas. This is where it started. And this is after fucking punk-ass Republicans in the state tried to stash this referendum in a primary election in a midterm cycle when typically nobody votes. And they had bigger turnout than they've had since 2012. They also used confusing wording and were sending out texts that were lying about which vote meant which thing. These people know that their ideas are so unpopular, even in fucking Kansas, they have to try and cheat. Trump won Kansas by 15 percentage points. This referendum won by 25. That means a couple of different possibilities, okay? One, there were a ton more Democrats and independents that showed up to vote for this than did in 2020 for the presidential election. We call that, in political science, we call that activation. That means that these voters were activated by this issue and driven to show up where they weren't inspired to show up before, okay? That would explain the huge turnout in this, minor election. That spells fucking doom for the Republicans in the midterms. That means that Democrats and independents are so pissed off about the Roe decision that they will show up in August in a midterm year to vote for something like this in a red state. The other major likelihood, based on how big this thing won by, was that Republicans were voting to keep abortion legal. That people who vote for Republican candidates, including people who voted for Trump in 2020, voted to keep this legal. Which confirms what we've been saying, which is that even Republicans think making abortion illegal is a fucking ridiculous government overreach. Republicans, even your core constituencies, don't think you have good ideas. So you have to cheat to win. And I just want to remind every one of you that said that this was a good thing when Roe versus Wade was overturned because you could leave it up to the states, that voters in the states could now decide. Well, voters in Kansas decided and they gave you the fucking middle finger. So I will not be holding my breath waiting for those same people to now turn around and claim we don't live in a democracy and votes like these don't matter in these states. When conservative ideas can't win democratically, conservatives will throw out democracy rather than their ideals.